Hello, Year 8. Welcome back. Good to have you here. I have good news, great news, and superb news. So, firstly, good news is that apparently we won't be doing live lessons on Teams. School changed their mind, so we're staying with video lessons for you guys, and you get to have the razzle-dazzle, get to have fun on the videos. Subscribe to Mr. Alley's Computer Science at James Alley, whatever it's on YouTube. Go look for it. Secondly, great news is this week I'm going to have 2 quick videos instead of one really long one. So, first video is going to be on a concept that you're familiar with, and we're going to extend that to talk about loops. Second video is going to extend loops, and then it's going to talk about some other concepts that you may not have faced just yet. So, stay tuned and look for what we've got. Okay, so I've gone over to my REPL, and this one's called Year 8 Iteration If Else. What you'll see here is essentially 2 chunks of code in one program. So you start off with a stir._year, string year, input, what is your year of birth? And an int_year, integer, string year. So that converts this to be an integer, so we can do mathematics, so we do arithmetic on it. Stir cur year, the string current year. What is the current year? Integer current year, or int cur year, and that transforms, it typecasts the stir cur year into becoming an integer. Now, there's another variable that we enter here as a stir had bday, string had birthday. Have you had your birthday yet? Yes, no. Now, that's the first bit of the chunk of code. We've had a bunch of input, we've got several variables, we've converted a couple of variables to integers, and we've had what we're going to consider to be a Boolean variable. It's a decision point. And in this decision point, we're going to use an if-else loop. So if the stir had bday variable equals, that means it literally equals yes, or stir had _bday equals capital yes, the integer age equals integer cur year minus integer year, else the int age equals int cur year minus int year minus 1, you print you must be int age years old. What we're doing is some arithmetic to say, have you had your birthday? Yes, no. Okay, if you've had your birthday, the current year minus the integer year is how old you are. Else, if you haven't had your birthday, the int age, the integer age, equals the integer current year minus the integer year minus 1. So, let's run it and see what you get. Right. What is your year of birth? Let's say 1980. I'll say lying. And what is the current year? 2020. Have you had your birthday yet? I'll say no. That means I must be 39 years old. If we run it again and say I've had my birthday, yes. I must be 40 years old. So it calculates where we are in the year and say you've had your birthday or you haven't had your birthday, enter your current year minus the year, that's how old you are. Very clever. Very tight code. Very nice to use. And there's some interesting things going on here. If you notice, the initial if statement says the string of the stir had bday equals y or capital Y. That way, if someone enters a capital Y for yes instead of a small y for yes, they've got a caps lock on, it captures it as well, it sees it as valid, and it says you've had your birthday, so the integer age equals the integer current year minus the integer year. And it adds a year onto your birthday. So it says you're 40 years old versus being 39 if you're born in 1980. I hope that makes sense. Now, what I would like you to do is to firstly take this code and strip it down. You've got at least 2 extra lines of input in there. See if you can make this code faster by taking those 2 extra lines out. And finally, I would like you to put something interesting into the strings that are input. Just make it fun, make it a bit more interesting. And what you do is up here in the share button, upper right here in blue, click on the share button, save that with @Mr. Rowley, and I'll have a look at that. So, lastly but not leastly, 2 things. One is the next video I've got. I'm going to have a very special guest with me. Might be coming from Stark Towers, might be a famous AI you know. I couldn't possibly comment. Secondly, I'm broadcasting today from a very famous place. If you can tell me where it is, I visited it. It's film from when I was there. Identify that, and there are prizes to be won. Nice to see you. I hope everyone's well. I hope everyone is coping well under coronavirus. And I will upload a second video later this week. Look on Teams for that, or check out my YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. It'll let you know. Thanks very much, and we'll see you then. Cheers.